In this video, we'll discuss what we mean by a contract. When you think about contract law, first, think about promises. But these are promises recognized as legal obligations by a court. And if this legally recognized promise is broken, a court might impose liability on the party breaking the promise. Now, people make promises all the time. For example, I promise to meet you next week. Don't worry, I promise you it won't rain. But with contracts, remember, we're concerned with liability if the person breaks a promise. If your friend doesn't show up in the park as scheduled, we don't expect a court to make someone pay for not showing up on a date. Likewise, maybe your friend promised you that it wouldn't rain, but you're probably not going to sue your friend because her weather prediction was wrong. Without even studying the law, instinctively, we don't expect your friend's weather prediction to be a legally enforceable contract. On the other hand, if we have a promise to sell a scooter in exchange for money, and one party pays money but there's no scooter, well, that seems to be a broken promise, for which we expect there to be some liability. So what's the difference then between a broken promise to be someone's best friend and a broken promise to sell or to buy a scooter? When should a promise be part of a contract, a legally enforceable agreement? We can say that a contract is made of distinct pieces that we'll call elements. And if we have the necessary elements, we have a contract. You can think of elements of a contract the way you might think of ingredients to a soup. If we have the right ingredients, we can make our soup. But now we're asking, what do we need? What are the elements to form a contract? And generally, our three elements for a contract are offer, acceptance, and consideration. Before we can have a contract, we should have these three elements. We'll say the offer and the acceptance are a mutual agreement to enter into a deal. And consideration will mean the parties are giving and getting something, for example, paying money in exchange for a painting. And we'll need all three elements to have a contract. This course focuses primarily on the offer, but in subsequent courses, we'll be looking at the acceptance and consideration. So our basic definition of a contract is going to be a promise that a court will enforce. Put a slightly different way, it's a promise that, if broken, can result in liability. You can also define a contract as an agreement that can be enforced in court. If you'd like to discuss contract law or any other matter related to U.S. law, stop by my website and feel free to send me an email.